disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partner, Joe Harley. What's up, man?
What's going on?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Internet Network. On Tuesdays, we got the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. Wednesdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel. And, you know, we have the traditional way every other Thursday, and now we have another podcast, Extra Scoop. I have no idea when that comes out. Travis hasn't sent me any updates or anything like that. But if you want to know about our other shows, just check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Joe, it's showtime. What's going on?
No, man. A lot going on this week. Getting ready for my brother-in-law's wedding. That's been a headache.
It's been a headache?
Yeah, like, you know, I love them and all that, but like they're just you know, there's a lot of extra stuff going on. And he kind of asked us last minute, so you know, and then you know he bought us, you know, he bought all the groomsmen and everyone in the wedding a suit jacket and pants. And then he starts every other day. I'm getting a new text of new stuff. I got to buy some shoes. I got to, you know, buy some suspenders. I got to buy a shirt. And buying a shirt online for me, like I'm a big dude, man. So it's not fun.
Yeah. You're not someone who likes to go shopping, huh, Joe?
I mean, like for me, my shopping is this, man. Like, give me a good, big and tall store that don't cost an arm and a leg. I'm good. Like JCPenney, best I've found. I go there, I get like 6 graphic tees when they're on sale, $100, walk out, I'm good. I'm good for the year. Like, that's cool. You know, I find some shoes that I like and they fit me, even better. You know, I just need shoes for work. I need some dress shoes and maybe some house shoes, and I'm good. Like, I'm just not.
You sound like a true martial artist. You sound like
right.
We have a basic wardrobe. Well, a lot of us have a basic wardrobe. I ain't gonna say everybody because there are some fancy martial artists out there.
Like I worry more about my hats. I like hats. Like I like sports hats and fedoras, cabbie hats. Like I just like if I find a fun different hat that I don't think a lot of people have, that's kind of my thing. Like that's my style. Everything else, I just, you know, let whatever happens, man. You know, that's how my dad was. Like we just put on what we feel like putting on. I mean, you know, I got a wife, so she don't let me walk around like looking like a slob. But other than that, like I'm good, man. So yeah, and meanwhile, you know, my brother-in-law and his wife, like this is gonna be a fancy wedding. So like he's you know he's sending me Steve Madden felt or velvet shoes, and the suspenders I already have, but you know I had to get a different set. And then the suit and the jacket were nice. But the shirt, I had to get one and send it back 3 times because the first one I got was too big and baggy, but it fit, you know, it fit where it needed to fit for the most part. Then the second one I got, the sleeves are too short, so I got it right the 3rd time. I Goldilocks that bitch. But yeah, so I mean, but we're good. You know, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna be looking good. So that's all that matters, I guess.
I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain. You know, my daughter got married about a month ago. She got married. Kara got married. And
dude, that was a very interesting looking wedding. I liked a lot of stuff about that wedding.
Yeah. We had a good time, man. It was a real good time. And you know, I was in a similar situation, you know, because I walked her down the aisle, and you know, I had to get a new suit because my suit that I have, that suit I got it in 2000 because she wanted me to wear a black suit. Yeah. So I got that suit in 2018, right? So
Oh, I remember you telling us a little bit about some of
yeah, so it
this.
was 5 years
You had
ago.
so much fun.
Yeah, so and I went to went to the men's warehouse to get a suit, and I was just gonna rent one, but they wanted like $280, something like that, and I could have bought a new suit for 350 or something like that. I can't remember
Well,
the
go
exact
figure,
price.
right?
Right, man. So and since I lost a lot of weight, so I just ended up taking that old suit that I had and I took it to a tailor, and he was able to tailor it down to my size now, and that only cost me like $170, as opposed to having
That's good.
a new suit or rent a suit or something like that. So I feel your pain. I know, but I still had to run around and get a shirt and tie, and all of that, because she wanted me to be all black. So I had to make
Like
sure that
this whole thing is so I have to miss 4 days of work for this, okay? Because
wow.
it's not. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be a good time, but
Hmm.
it's it's in Petoskey, Michigan. That's a nice little 4-hour drive. They have like a welcome party, then another party, and then the rehearsal dinner, and then the wedding. Like I'm like, dang, I've never been to like that much stuff before a wedding. Like the last one
Hmm.
I did, it was just my boy, uh, my best friend. I was best man.
Right,
Sean, I
right.
call him Chewy. He married a Chaldean woman, and that was an experience in itself because they had a henna before. And so, I mean, like, I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but I was dressed, like I was in the
No, I
desert
didn't.
from head to
I,
toe.
I didn't.
Oh, I'll
I
send
didn't
you one
see
of
the
those
picture.
pictures. His brother-in-law cracks me up because he looked at me. He goes, "Bro, you look more Chaldean than I do right now. What the heck?" And I said, "You know what, man? I do what I got to do." And
Let me ask you about that for a second before you continue on.
yeah,
Now, I've been to a Chaldean wedding before because I've in my line of work I work with a lot of Chaldeans,
yeah,
and so I went to a Chaldean wedding. Now, you were at did you go to both the ceremony and the reception?
yes,
Okay, were there a lot of people at the ceremony?
yes.
Okay, that's different than the experience I had, because the one
It
I
was a
went to.
big church. Listen, this whole thing was a different experience. Okay, it was in this big church, and everybody got to sit down except for the maid of honor and the best man had to stand next. Like we was there holding them up. It was crazy.
Why
And
why
then
why?
that was how it worked, man. Like
Oh,
we were the like the people, to watch over them while they were getting married. Like I was
okay.
like right behind them, like to the side.
Sound like security, huh?
Like right, serious. That's what I felt. I would just stand there like. But then this is the wild part. So, um, during the ceremony, they put this white bow on mine and his arm.
Okay.
And afterwards, I said, "What's this white bow about? Like, what does this mean?" It tells the other women that we're not available. That's what I was told. I don't know if whoever her sister told me that. So if that's wrong, like, don't come at me. But that's what I was told. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, so
uh,
when you took on being the best man, like I guess the idea of choosing your people, like you try to choose someone who's married. So that's telling everybody like stay away.
he's off
I'm like, so
limits.
if I don't have the white bow, they're gonna be like hitting on me and stuff. Like I'm like, I don't. This is a crazy thing. Like this is interesting. But that was a fun wedding, man. It was real loud and upbeat, and it was like crazy. It was so much fun. So we had a
Yeah, I
good
think
time.
I
It was
told you, like, the one I went to, like, the ceremony wasn't a lot of people at the ceremony, maybe two or three rows of people. And I was feeling bad, for the couple that was getting married. Like, dang, nobody really showed up. But the
then he
reception,
went to the reception. He was like,
oh
oh
my gosh, it was so many people. So,
yeah.
but also, man, they got a lot of money. They got a lot of money gifts, and they had security. The wedding I went to, they had security there, man, because they
I
got
didn't
so
look,
much money.
but what I was told was they pay for their own wedding, but the family takes care of them afterwards.
Yeah, I believe that.
Like
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
don't have to worry afterwards.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, they definitely had security when they left out of there, with all of that money, man. So that couple, they
the
got a lot of money.
the other thing I dealt with this week, I don't remember if I talked about this or not, but I think it was this week. So my daughter and my son, they did their little audition for the Little Mermaid at
Hmm.
the theater they did. Did I talk about that last week?
I don't think so. I mean, I think you might have mentioned it, but I don't think you
No, I
went
don't think
in.
I talked about it. So
Okay. Or maybe you
honest to
told
God,
me
man,
during a text or something, but go ahead.
she been working so hard, and I thought she was the shoe in for this part.
Mm.
They offered her some whack ass part. Wasn't even it was a slap in the face. So she didn't take it, and we're looking around. We're gonna take our talent somewhere else. Pull LeBron on some people. Um, no, you know what happened? So one of the other people who worked there. So there's the theater's owned by this one guy, and then he was partnered with another couple. And the wife ran the head of house, and then the other one he did the he helped with the directing, and he helped with choreography, and then he ran the lights. And they I think they own the theater together. Well,
Okay.
the actual director kind of mouthed off to the wife in front of everybody. She felt slighted, and so they left. And so he brought in this new guy, and I think he kind of gave the reins a little bit to the new guy.
Mm.
And there's a lot of political stuff because I'm telling you right now, the other dude, like he was all about my daughter. He said she was up and coming and this and that. I think he would have at least considered her for the part. So I was a little upset about that, and I was getting ready to go a little crazy with that. But my wife said, "You know what? Things happen for a reason. Don't get crazy." You know
Okay.
what, man? I'm just that kind of. I'm an emotional dad, and I really do think like she was born to play Ursula. So maybe we'll see it down the road. But we did find a theater in Royal Oak,
Hmm.
and their setup is a little better and set up better for my daughter. And the next play they're doing is Descendants, which she really wants to do. So, like I said, everything happens for a reason. And she's got stuff at school too. So, and then my son, he's got a really good play going on at his school. It's a Dr. Seuss play called Seussical. So he's going to try
Okay.
out for that one. Yeah, I never heard
Is
that.
it
That's
is
I
that
guess
is it based on a book? I've never heard of that book.
no. This is a play that has been on Broadway, and
Oh,
this
okay.
is like this is the junior version. So I'm interested. I don't know much about it. I'm just kind of reading about it, and it looks like it'll be something he can do for fun, and I think he'll enjoy it. I told him to go out for like thing one or thing two. I think
Hmm.
he would be perfect for that because they're just running around like crazy, and I don't even think they talk, but I think he'd be fun at it. So we'll
Okay.
see.
All right.
And
Cool.
that's it, man. Watch the Lions lose today, but it was a good game, so I'll take it.
Yeah, man, that was a heartbreaker right there, man. I didn't get a I wasn't watching it. I was at the dojo, but I had it on my phone. I had the Audacity, Odyssey, yeah, Odyssey app.
Yeah,
I had that playing, and so I was listening to it, and at the same time I was looking at my ESPN app at the same time. The ESPN app, well, I guess it's a little bit more real time because it was updating faster than what was going on the Odyssey app.
I
They were
think
like
some of those
two
apps like
plays
that
behind.
have a delay.
Yeah, yeah, because they were about two plays behind on the Odyssey app when I was looking
Yeah,
at the ESPN app as the scores were updating, and they had the little chart showing you where the ball was going and everything. So yeah, I saw that.
it's fine.
Okay.
They're gonna be all right. They look good still.
Yeah, I just didn't want to lose. I mean, because last year they lost a heartbreaker. They should have beat Seattle last year. They should have beat them this year. Um, they left points on the board.
Well, that pick six didn't help either.
That and I think he went for it. What was he on 4th and 3 or something like that, or 4th and 5, and he went for it, and
That's
instead
Campbell,
of just
man.
kicking
What are
them
you gonna
and
do?
just sometimes with the Lions though, I understand it. Yeah, you need to gamble sometimes, but when the Lions, I don't like the Lions gambling. If I'm
Yeah,
watching any other team, I feel that, but it's just too much craziness. Whatever shouldn't happen can happen when it comes to the Lions. So I don't think they ever. I think they should just get the points when it's time to get points.
no, you're not
Don't
wrong.
gamble. I mean,
You're not wrong.
unless it's a playoff game, I get it. And depending on the situation of the game, but something like this early in the year, second game of the year, you yeah, we can't lose to a team like Seattle. So
They'll get it
okay,
together.
yeah. Well, my week was pretty cool for with work. Um, Yesterday, I took the kids up to Battle Creek.
Oh yeah.
for the Ultimate Warrior Challenge up there. We went up there to compete. Of course, Connor, man, he got first in forms and first in fighting. You know, if that kid sticks with it, man, I think that kid is going to be one of those special competitors.
For sure.
You know, because normally you either like forms or you like fighting. There's not too many people that do both and win at both, and he's winning. He's winning with these traditional Taekwondo forms. I just happened to modify it a little bit for him,
That's
because
okay though.
Connor is really, really flexible. So he knows how to flip. So I have some back flips in the form for him, and then
And
he
he
also
got so
does.
much energy, dude.
Yes, he does. Yes, and he's watching other people do forms also at these tournaments, and he's bringing that energy into what he does also. So he
Yeah.
sees the facial expressions, he sees the intensity that other forms competitors are doing, and he just added that to himself, you know. And some of the other kids in the school, they're not doing that when it comes to forms. You've seen it. You've worked with the kids. They
Yeah.
just kind of do the techniques. They're not adding attitude to the form. They're just kind of going through the motion or
Listen,
whatever.
man, I tell them, I said, you got to be a little extra, and they kind of look at me like I'm weird, but I'm like, I'm telling you,
Yeah, I don't
makes a
think they understand.
difference.
Yeah, because I'm saying it a lot myself to them, and I don't think they understand it. So, what I said the other day, I said, listen, if this was a movie and this is a fight scene, would you watch this fight scene the way you're doing this? Would you watch it, or would you change the channel? And all of them said they probably changed the channel. I was like, yeah, that's right, because you're not acting, you're just doing what I taught you. But now it's time for you guys to put some personality in these forms, put some attitude in there. Let's ham it up a little bit,
Yeah.
And he's taken to it, and like no one is, as far as Michigan goes at the end of the year. I think he has the most points when it comes to forms. I don't think anybody can catch up to him, because I think he has close to 400 points when it comes to forms. I think the
Good stuff.
next closest person is had 140 points.
Dang.
So he should win first for the state with forms. Now with fighting, it's going to be a little close, because the kid, now this is the messed up part. The kid that he is behind, he's beat this kid 3 times in a row in tournaments.
Kid probably went to more tournaments, though, right?
Yes. So this was the thing. Connor lost the first tournament of the year, Arctic Open. He didn't place there. And the second tournament of the year, which was, I believe it was either Lapeer or Ortonville, and we had a snowstorm that weekend. And I didn't want to drive up there, and then either the tournament get canceled, or the roads are bad, or not enough people showed up. So I didn't want to gamble with that, so we didn't go to that one. So because of that, now he's behind, but right now he's only behind this kid by 40 points. So I told him, I said, you're probably going to see this kid again in a couple weeks at the Curtis Butler's tournament at the end of the year. So it's probably going to come down to you and him, to see who's going to win this division for the state. So he said, yeah, I'm ready. He's not really worried. This kid is taller than me.
Yeah, I've seen him.
And he's beaten him 3 times. Yesterday he beat him with 5. All Connor did was sidekick him. Angled out the way, sidekick. Angle, sidekick.
That's a good way though to beat someone that's bigger than you, though.
Yes.
Take him down.
And the last sidekick, I felt bad because the kid got hurt. And that happened at the last tournament also. Connor hit at my uncle's tournament. Connor hit him with a sidekick, and the kid grabbed his stomach. Well, hell, you just got kicked 5 times right there in the same spot. He beat him 5-0. The kid didn't even score on Connor. Yeah,
good stuff, man.
Yeah. Nyla went also. She got 3rd place. And she hit a girl with a spinning hook kick. This is what happened. So Curtis Butler was the center of her ring, but Curtis also had a student in that ring also. So he asked me, said, "Can you slide in and run the center while I coach my student?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "But I have a student in this division also." So he said, "Okay, fine." So when his student fought, I refed, and then I stepped out. And then my student stepped in. He refed. Now she lost her first fight. She was upset because she almost won. She was a little upset. So then her cousin fought in the next ring. So I ran over to coach her. Then Nyla had to come back up again. Right.
Yeah.
So now I'm between both rings. I'm coaching one, saying something one, I'm turning and I'm talking to the other one. And I'm doing that both. I'm telling one
You're
reverse
crazy.
punch. Then I looked at the other one, side kick, other one back fist. I'm just going back and forth. You know.
That's great, man. You gotta do that
So
sometimes.
yeah, you had to. And on top of that, Judge also, because I had to go back into that ring also when Nyla won. I had to step back in the ring because Mr. Butler's student was back up again. So then I had to judge again. So man, I tell you, I was sweating. I had to take my hat off and wipe my brow after I got done, man. But it was still fun. Nyla ended up getting third, and then her cousin ended up getting fourth. This was her cousin's first tournament. So she was a little nervous. She was a little nervous. She didn't do as well as I've seen her fight in the school, and I know it was all nerves, you know. And I told her,
just shake that off sometimes.
Yeah, and just keep on coming, you know, back out here. I was like, you know, this happens to a lot of other kids, and eventually, it's not going to bother you, affect you anymore. You know, like I mentioned Connor earlier. Connor first couple tournaments, he didn't win anything, you know, and then all of a sudden that light bulb went off.
Your uncle, I talked to him about like being nervous for her fights because I always thought it was a bad thing, and then he told me he still gets nervous for it, and I was like,
yep,
that really got me because I was like, he's like, you know, to me, it just if you're not nervous, it means you don't want it enough. And once he told me that, I was like, okay, it's cool to be nervous. Take a breath, and once you throw that first kick or punch, or you take a kick or punch, like you good, you're in a fight now. It's good. Let's go.
Yep, he told me that too when I was a kid. He told me the exact same thing, man. And it's only waiting for the damn division to start. That's the part right there. Like once the division started, I'm not nervous anymore. Well, I wasn't nervous anymore. And I'm talking about me. Once I get in the ring and I like you said, through the first back fist or reverse front side kick, whatever, I'm not nervous anymore. And then as the division is going on, I'm not nervous. It's only when you're standing on that line waiting for things to start. So once I bowed in, I was good to go. You know,
it's always works that way, and I like it. It's good.
Yeah. Today, so today's Sunday that we're recording this, even though you all will listen to it on Wednesday. Then today I picked up Champ, of course, like I do every Sunday, most Sundays I should say. And I went and picked him up. We went and had lunch, and then I said, "What do you want to do today?" And he was like, let's go to the karate school. Let's go work out. So I said, sweet. Okay, kind. We'll, you know, go get you a private lesson. So we went up there, trained him a little bit. Then went to the park. He wanted to go to the park. Then went to my parents, hung out over there, played, talked with them, and then took him back home, you know. And came in as soon as I walked in, turned the stuff on, and we're at it. That was my weekend, you know.
Man, I played laser tag for the first time in a long time yesterday. And now
I love laser tag.
My legs are burning.
Man, I love laser
tag. But
it
was so much fun. It was
I haven't done that this year. Yeah, I haven't done that this year. We
should get the squad, man.
Yeah,
that was so much fun. I had so much fun.
I normally take Champ, DJ, Melissa, myself. We normally all go at least once or twice a year and go play. But we haven't gone this year. And we had a good time last time we went. So yeah, definitely that's a good idea, man. Next time this all of us together, we're gonna definitely go do that. And I definitely think I should do that with the school because there's a laser tag place right down the street in Farmington on Grand River, and Zap Zone's a Zap Zone down there, and we can.
We were at Drake and 10 Mile.
Okay.
It was a bowling alley with the arcade and the laser tag. So we bowled, and I could not throw a ball straight or curve to save my life yesterday. I was throwing gutter ball. I got like 2 good balls thrown. I was mad.
How often do you bowl, or did you used to bowl?
Not as much as I used to. I have my own ball. I just have to get it out of the garage.
Oh wow, okay. So you bowl pretty frequently.
I can usually find a good house ball that I can either curve or straight depending on what I need, because I can throw a decent curve ball. With my ball, I can throw it all the time. But if I do find, like, I'll go through like 6 or 7 house balls, and usually if I can find some good holes, even if they're straight, I can still do it. Man, I got it to curve like twice, and they were both a strike or a spare. So I was mad because I was like, man, I could have got. I think my first game was like a 47. I was like, that was embarrassing.
Oh wow,
I
goodness.
was mad. My wife,
Were you
I'm like,
drinking
man,
too? Were you drinking?
no, no. I'm telling you,
47.
it was bad. My son
Man.
beat all of us. He had 108.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but the kids had bumpers, but they were having fun. But
Yeah.
yeah, we had a good time. So it was a nice little family outing.
I've never had any lessons or been in a league or nothing like that, but I do enjoy the bowl, and for some reason, man, I've gone with a group of people plenty of times, and it's always a competition thing with me. Like I don't mean to get competitive
Bro,
playing, but
us
damn
karate
it
people are
just
competitive. We are
I
competitive.
guess so, man. Melissa be like, damn, like you really trying to win. Like we just how you
All the
playing. I was like,
time.
yeah, I'm playing to win. Every
My
time
kids
I
know. My
throw
kids,
that ball down there, I'm trying to get a
yeah,
strike. Every time.
yes, yes. And if I got to mess
You
you up, I will too. But
know?
all right,
we
let's
went and
talk about
played.
this
We
stupid
went and
movie.
played. We went and played about 6-7 weeks ago with some friends, man. And yeah, it turned competitive. But all right, let's do it. Let's talk about the movie.
Man,
Never
this
back. You know what? Hold on before you jump into it. I hate when companies do this type of stuff. To me, they didn't need to put this as part of the Never Back Down series. There was
it
no
had
reason
nothing
to
to do
do it.
with anything.
Nothing at all. Not one bit. It
You know
didn't.
what
It
this
didn't have
was?
Max in it. It didn't have
No,
Case in it. It didn't even have the original guy from the
it
first
didn't
movie.
even follow the same
No,
structure as the rest of the movies.
no, it didn't need to have the title of Never Back Down. It could have just been named something else. And I hate when
No, I'm gonna
movies
tell you
do
what this
that.
should have been.
What's that?
This should have been Taken 4.
Yeah, right. Basically, yeah,
Bro, I
exactly.
kept waiting for Liam Neeson to just show up and be like, now listen here, I got a special set of skills and I'm gonna come and kill. I mean, like, seriously, this was
Right.
Taken 4 MMA.
Pretty much.
Like, that's
Pretty
all it
much.
was. It was a very simple movie. And I'm thinking, okay, I right off the bat, I'm like, obviously, there's no big names in this. There's no whatever. They didn't keep any of the characters from the other movies. They didn't follow the same structure. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's some good martial arts. It's got Michael Bisping, so whatever. His character was terrible. The fight choreography was awful. From the very first fight, I'm like, what is happening? It
Yeah,
was a
man.
mess.
I hear you. But I think I think that the movie should have had a simple story like it did, because I think if they tried to get too detailed, it would have made this movie
No, I'm
even
not.
worse.
The story isn't even what got me. The story
No, you're
could
right.
have been okay. It was the execution of everything that was dumb.
Yeah, because you
Because
know what, the way it started off, it didn't even need to start off that way.
no,
It started off almost in the middle of the movie.
yeah,
Like we're seeing the middle of the movie, and then we see the credits and all that, and then it says 2 weeks earlier. It was like, what was the purpose of showing us that? Like, to get us hyped for this movie? Like that, it didn't make sense.
it really didn't. It had no idea. And then what I started thinking, like, I'm like, oh, is this going to be sex trafficking? Which those kind of things, like, not. I have 2 daughters, so I can't watch that kind of stuff. Like, it makes me mad.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a movie or a TV show, like that kind of stuff, just it makes me want to hit something. So I'm glad it wasn't. Like, they made it
Well,
seem
it
like
kind
that.
of was. It kind of
Nah,
was.
because it was the same setup as that, but it was girls fighting MMA.
So you didn't actually, you must have missed that part. Then you didn't hear when they said that.
No, if you are not living up to your fighting, then they do send you off to the Albanian sex house. They said, but
Yeah. So I
but
mean,
none
so
of that
yeah.
happened.
Well, we didn't get it. Yeah, we didn't see it, but obviously it had happened to someone, because the one girl was scared and she
Yeah.
did not want to. She didn't want to go, and I guess they told her that after her fight, she was leaving. She was leaving.
Well, they said whoever that loses, and she was not as good a fighter as the other girl.
I just assumed that she was leaving anyway because they dressed her up before her fights.
Oh, they were
And
trying to make a point. They were trying to make a point. That's why they put her up against her girlfriend.
mm,
And then that's why the stipulation was the loser goes to the Albanian sex house, which is horrible because, I mean, at least if you're fighting each other, which is still a mess because I got to fight you and then I'm going to go live with you in a cage
yeah,
after you just whoop my ass. Like, that's a problem with me because now I'm
yeah,
going to try and whip your ass again.
yeah,
Or I'm going to try and beat you for beating. Like, this it's a mess. Like, I get like they weren't down with that because there were consequences if they didn't fight. But yeah, it's a whole mess. So the whole idea of this movie is you got a brother and a sister. What are they from, like Chechnya or something like that? They said
mm-hmm,
Czech
yep,
Republic.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought they were like
But
Scottish
I
or
don't know
something.
where this. But I don't know where this movie was taking place. I don't.
Well,
It
they were
was
in London. No,
okay.
they said they were in London, and then when she went to fight, they were in Rome.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it starts
Yeah,
off the brother.
I got ready to
Yeah.
turn on. I got ready to turn on the subtitles because I was having. They are, even though they were speaking English, they had little accents, and it was making it a little hard to understand
Yes.
exactly what everyone was saying. Yeah, I
Now
got to a point. I was like, I was like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna
so
watch
the
it
the
anyway.
main character is Anna, and she's like she's listening to tapes. I'm assuming she's trying to be a nurse or a doctor
Mm-hmm. That's what it seemed like.
because
Yeah.
the tape she was listening to was giving like different anatomy instructions and everything, and she kept talking about going to school, and she had to go to school to get a visa and keep a visa. And her brother that she lives with, is an MMA fighter, and they show him in his first fight, or the only fight we see him in, really. And he's not doing very well. And the sister tells him, like, "What are you doing? You fought guys, twice this guy's size, this and that. Like, what's going on? Like, something's happening." And then they show some creepy, weird guy in the back, like, so obviously, like, he's supposed to take a dive. That, I mean, I just assumed that, which we do
Yeah.
find out later, like that was the idea. Problem is, he ends up winning the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most of the time when that happens in these situations, they kill you.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, these mobsters or gangsters, they don't really even tell you what they are. They don't go that route. They try to set up something different. And there's a female involved, Monique or something like that, I think her name was.
Yeah, I don't
And
remember.
I don't remember, and I just don't care. I really
Yeah, right.
I was, you know what?
I feel you because I didn't learn any of the characters' names either, man. I didn't even
Like
look
I
it
said,
up.
I only know Anna, and they never said Michael Bisping character. Like, it shows up on the screen.
Oh,
On
they did say it
Amazon,
a couple of times, but like I said, I couldn't understand what they were
but they
saying.
never said which one he was.
They
I
did.
had to look that up. Oh,
No,
did
they
they?
did. Yeah, they did. When oh shit, I can't remember. They were the
Oh, I
lady
know.
who was
Yeah,
running it.
yeah,
She was looking for him, so she was calling him
yeah.
one time, and then the girls were
You're right.
they were
You're right.
making a plan for everybody. They had brought his name up also, but I like I said, I wasn't gonna try and figure out what his damn name was.
So they show up to
I
talk
probably should
about,
pull it up on my phone right now.
the
Go
brother
ahead.
cost this gentleman 30,000 pounds, which I don't even know if that's a lot of money or not, but I guess it is. And for him throwing the fight, he was only going to get 1,000. So to me, it's like, I don't know, that's a lot. So the girl that's with him, she sees Anna. She starts
Her name
hitting.
was Mariah. Mariah.
Oh, Mariah. She starts seeing like a little fire in Anna, and she gets this idea that she's gonna take on a fight, and it'll knock 5,000 pounds off her brother's debt for the 30 grand. And when they show up, they're taping the fight. So the brother's like, "What is this? Like OnlyFans or porn or whatever?" And they were like, "No, it's just a fight." And the fight, it goes on for a couple minutes, and then she gets choked out, and they say, "Okay, we got what we need." I don't know what that was. It was weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
It seemed odd.
Yeah, because it kind of seemed like that was the end of the round, and it seemed like okay, they just stopped the fight. They said, okay, don't worry about it. That's it. We got what we need,
Yeah.
and they were looking confused.
Well, we do find out it was an audition to go to Rome for another fight. Now, this is where I have a problem because one, this chick doesn't seem like she wants the brother involved in this, but the brother can't even go to Rome with her.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. I'm not going with a stranger somewhere without like somebody that I know. So
Not just a stranger, somebody that's part of a criminal organization.
yes.
And you know this. You know that this is part of a criminal organization.
Well, the whole thing was shady from the beginning, and I mean, honestly, and they were both upset about it, and they were taking precautions
Mm-hmm.
to try and avoid what ends up happening. But these people, when obviously they've been doing this for a while, so they have ways of getting out of all that. Like she's taking pictures of IDs and pictures of people, license plate numbers, and everything like that. And she doesn't even have a smartphone. She has a crummy, whatever phone. So I don't even think she can call out internationally and all that. So
But that wasn't even my major point. I mean, problem I had with it. My problem was Anna was not really a fighter herself.
exactly. But she should have took somebody with her reliable, like that was on her side, because that would have avoided a lot of issues. Now they probably would have killed that person or something like that, I'm sure, but it just would have been the smart thing to do. You can't just show up by yourself and you don't even know what's going on. Like that's a
Did you
mess.
did you think that her brother's trainer was involved? Because I
I
did.
mean, I
Because
did, but they didn't seem to show anything.
they didn't show anything. But as I was watching the movie, the other girls who were caught, they were saying that they were set up by their trainers.
Yes.
And so when I heard that, I thought, and the her brother's trainer, we hadn't seen him in a while. So I was
True.
thinking that I was thinking that he might have had something to do with this. He didn't. They if he was, it got cut out the movie. They never showed it. But I did think that he might have had something to do with setting her up for this.
Now, this is where you should just ran for the hills. I don't care what's going on. They show up and instead of a hotel, they're at some dingy rundown hospital.
Abandoned hospital.
Yes, abandoned hospital. I'm sorry, this is too many red flags. I'm out. Like,
Mm-hmm.
peace out. Call the police, call somebody, because get me out of here. It's just
And
a
her phone
mess.
wasn't working, so she couldn't call her brother. Her
Yeah, but
phone wasn't working.
she used Mariah's phone and called her brother to let him know.
Mm-hmm.
But even that didn't help her in the long run because Mariah, she's the one running this whole thing.
Yeah, her brother, and then her brother was against all of this from the get go. He didn't want her involved in any of this. He didn't want her to go. So he was constantly worried, and he wanted to talk to her damn near every single second she was away. He was
As
blowing
he
people's
should have,
phones up. Yeah, exactly.
but
He was
he should
calling
have never let
everyone.
her go. He should have figured out something else.
Yeah,
Like my sister's not, taking care of my problems. That's all there is to it, and putting her own life on the line.
right.
So, she doesn't know what's going on. She's assuming she's being trafficked, but I mean, it's not exactly that. It's literally, they come get you, they dress you up, make you look nice, and you're gonna have a girl fight. Now, her first fight, she's basically just gonna be like, "Well, I'm just not gonna fight," and the girl she's fighting tells her like, "There's if you don't fight, like it's gonna be worse." Well, I don't know how that's true because this girl whooped her ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like this girl obviously been fighting for a minute, and she whooped her ass.
and they dragged her away.
I
They
know,
had to drag her
I
away.
know. It's a mess. Like I don't know, man. Like I got a problem because is it something like you would actually want to watch? Like I don't even. These people are paying money to watch this.
Yeah, so this wasn't in an arena or nothing like that. It seemed like they were in some type of uh it was a big room, and there were all these
But
rich people there. They were sitting around. These people, these girls who were fighting, they weren't in a cage, they weren't in a ring, they were like on a platform, in the middle of this room while everyone was sitting
Yeah.
around. Now, there wasn't 20 or 30, 40. Oh, I shouldn't say 20. There might have been 20 people there, and that was it. It wasn't, a pay-per-view thing. It wasn't a spectator. It was like something that was small, just for a small, intimate group of, I guess, rich
Yeah.
people.
Yep.
It wasn't even like Best of the Best 2. Remember in Best of the Best 2 when they had the underground fighting, and
Yes.
there were a bunch of people that were watching from the crowd watching. This wasn't it. This was a small intimate group of people that wanted to watch these I don't know, caged girls fight.
Well, we do find out because, like I said, Anna was in a room with a bed and everything. But after this fight, they throw her in a cage with a bunch of other girls, and so everyone's kind of telling their story, like you said earlier. Um, you know, one girl, she was like, "Oh, they found me on YouTube. They came, talked to me, made up all this stuff, and that's how I ended up here. My trainer got me." Like everyone's, these are all fighters. Anna is just a girl who could fight because she had like a messed up past. I guess she was, put into her family died in a war. Her mom was a nurse, her dad was a doctor. So it's like, she'd been through some stuff. So she'd been fighting according to her brother since they were in the foster home and stuff. But she don't have these girls they sound like they've been trained.
They didn't give her, they didn't really give her like the Daniel treatment.
No.
Where all of a sudden she can beat that didn't happen.
But here's my thing.
Which I like. I like that.
Oh, I agree. But the thing that killed me is, so you do all this, right? And then why are they looking to her to get him out of there?
Nah,
what was so special about her to like what she just showed up and they're like, oh, you must be smart. You're going to school or something. Like,
well,
get us out of here.
Some of those girls have been in there for a long time, because I know one girl said she had been there for like 9 months, or something happened 9 months ago. Some type of fight that she had 9 months ago.
No, one of them said they tried to escape and they messed her up so bad she couldn't talk for 2 months.
Yeah, so these girls have been there for a while, and Anna has these ideas of how to escape. But one girl didn't believe her. I think her name is Jaya. She didn't believe her. Yeah.
Yeah, Jaya was the main one that just whipped her ass.
Okay, and she was also the one that had the girlfriend, right? Yeah. The one that she ended up killing. Well, she had to.
Well, I don't know that she had to, but she felt like she needed to because she was scared. The other thing that really messed me up about this movie, okay, Michael Bisping character was terrible.
If I was Michael Bisping, are you talking about the character, or are you talking about Michael Bisping's acting for the character?
No, his acting is terrible, but I'm not worried about that. The character, I would not take this character.
Okay, why not?
One of his lines, he literally said, "I love hitting women."
Yeah, okay.
He said that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if I'm reading that, if I'm like, oh, here's the part we're gonna have you. So your job is to take care of all these women, whoop they ass if they're out of line, and oh, by the way, you really enjoy it.
Yeah, you know what? Because he did beat up Anna in the movie, and like he beat her up.
But he literally said, "I like," because she asked him, she's like, "Why are you doing this? Like, what is wrong with you?" And he said, "I like beating women. I love it." Like,
that's
I'm sick. Like, I would have been like, "No, I'm not saying that. I don't care if this is a character or not. I'm not saying that."
Right.
That's messed up, man.
Yeah.
Like, who says that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy talk. I'd been like, "Nah, I'll pass. I don't need this money that bad." That one messed me up. I'm sorry. It really did. I was like, did you really just say that, bro? Like, come on. I'd been like, maybe we can change this to something else. I'm getting paid a lot of money. That's why I do this. Just stop getting out of line. But that's okay, because I mean, they took care of him later. Now, the girl we're talking about that has the girlfriend, they pull her out. I guess she's not pulling her weight. So they dial her all up. They tell her she's going home and all this stuff. But what they really mean is she's going away to the whorehouse.
That was Valentina, right? I think that was Valentina too. Yeah.
But she don't know that. And so I don't know why this girl's dumb. Because she's going to
Well,
talk about, oh, Anna's taking me with her, so I'm not going to be here much longer. She said that to the
yeah,
people holding her captive.
she
Why
did.
did you say that?
Well, I think they explained that something. I think she had a closed head injury because I think Jaya said that I think this is where the 9-month thing came in because I think she was banging her head against the wall
Oh,
and
okay.
and messed her brain up, messed herself up.
Well, I guess so, because she was
Yeah,
loopy.
and she
But
started having
she
nightmares
wasn't,
and everything.
yeah, but she wasn't too loopy to where when they started fighting and she figured she should be the one to lose, that she told her girlfriend to kill her so she
Mm.
don't got to deal with it. Which I thought was crazy, but I get it. Like I really do, because that would be a terrible. Like this is already terrible, but at least you're not getting assaulted and messed up. If as long as you just beat each other up and then go about your day, you're fine. But
Yeah, so this girl was having nightmares, and the nightmare was that she would leave and go to this Albanian uh
yeah,
sex house. That was her nightmare. So she wasn't sleeping. She would be screaming in the middle of the night and then wake up. So she was so scared that she would rather die than go to this place. So she was, I mean, she didn't just ask her one time. She didn't ask Jay just one time.
yeah.
She asked her multiple times throughout the fight, like, just kill me, please just kill me. And Jay
It was.
eventually
I mean, it
does.
was. But the reaction that Maya had was a little crazy, or Mariah, because she was pissed, which I get because now.
Oh yeah, now they got to get rid of a body. Like this was not.
Well,
This
but
was
no, I
not
think
what
she was more mad because she's getting paid. She would have been getting double paid. She would have gotten paid for the fight, and then she was getting paid for them to take her because the Albanians showed up
Oh
to
yeah,
see the merchandise they were purchasing.
yeah.
So she obviously you're not going to buy a dead girl.
All right, all right.
So yeah, she was missing money. So that's a mess. I
And
mean,
that's
there's
when,
not much else.
that's when pretty much the girls have had enough.
Yeah,
Jaya
for
was
sure.
into it now. She was like, okay, I'm on your team now, Anna. Like how do we get out of here?
I mean, about time, frankly.
Right.
But the only other there's only really a couple more things. The brother is, he's not taking no for an answer, so he goes after the guy that originally brokered the deal, and
Mm-hmm.
he catches him in bed. This part cracked me up because
Yeah.
I have a CPAP mask,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sorry, but so you're just taking in oxygen. Clamping that CPAP mask ain't gonna do nothing. You're just gonna be like,
Yeah,
what
I was
happened to my
wondering
air?
about that. Yeah, I was wondering about
You
that.
know, you're just gonna be like, what happened to my oxygen? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But you could still. It's not gonna cause you not to breathe.
Right.
So that one was a little dumb to me, but
He should have
whatever.
tortured. He should have tortured that guy. Justin.
Yes, he should have.
He should have tortured him. I
He
probably
only
would have.
pistol whipped. He
I
only
probably.
pistol whipped him once. He should have
Yeah.
shot him in the foot or something.
Yeah, I probably would. I probably would have did a lot more than that, man. Like I definitely would have tortured him a little bit, and then at the
You know
end of
what?
it, you would have to get rid of him because he would have been coming after you.
Oh, that brother didn't have that in him. That's the part. That's when Liam Neeson should have shown up. He should have just been like, "Surprise, motherfucker!"
He just come through the window, huh?
You know what? This movie would have gone from terrible to like, okay, I might give this a B plus.
Yeah, but I think he
Just
should have, because he should have tortured him. He wanted Mariah's number because somebody. You know what? He ended up beating somebody else up first, right? And then he ended up going
yeah.
to the original guys, going to his
Well,
place.
he was had a path of destruction getting to that guy, but
His name
I
was
mean, it didn't really do him any good. It didn't do him any good because he called the number a bunch of times and she didn't answer. She was in the middle of her own crap.
Well, I
But
mean, also Julian put a hit on the brother because
yeah,
remember, like somebody tried to kill the brother. The brother beat him up, and then he took his phone and he looked at the phone and he said, "Is it done yet?" And
yeah,
and then the brother texts back to Julian, "Yes." So then the brother knew, okay, Julian's trying to have me off. Let me go ahead and go see him now. So, like I said, I would have tortured him for a little bit, then I would have had to off him because that guy wasn't going to just take that line down. Literally, he was going to get back up and do something, either send some of his goons after the brother and Anna, probably both and killed both of them.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have
That would
lived
have been my
happily.
guess.
Yeah, they
No.
weren't going to live happily ever after, you know. So
Now I will say this is probably the best part of the movie, but I mean it's still stupid. Anna puts a plan into motion. She goes after Mariah, which causes Michael Bisping's character to basically beat the crap out of her. Then they have a house doctor, so she goes, and while she's in the doctor, she puts a scalpel right to his balls. And she was one of the tapes where she was learning. She learned about the vascular something. Uh, it's a bunch of nerves that basically you cut it open. You're not going to be feeling too hot, and you're probably going to die because it'll cause you to bleed out.
right.
And she got him to use his phone, call the brother, send the location for the cops, and then she went and got the rest of the girls. They started beating the crap out of everyone. She takes the scalpel with her, and I mean these girls have the only problem they have is taking out Michael Bisping. I mean he was beating the shit out of all of them.
And how many times did he get stabbed? I started laughing. Actually, I started laughing at that part because
it had to be over 50 times.
He got stabbed so many times, and Melissa's watching this with me, and she's like, "What's up?" She's like, "You're laughing at this?" And I was like, "Look how many times! Look how many times he got stabbed! This guy got stabbed so many times.
They have a lot of hate for him, you know.
I think that was Jaya too. She was just poking and poking and poking.
And he was underwater at this point.
Yes.
So I mean, they drowned him, stabbed him, cut him. It was a mess.
Hey, but nobody. I mean, some girl took a gun earlier, and nobody used that gun. Okay, but she never used the gun. She never used the gun.
That's what I said. I was like, why are we going through all this when you could just shot him?
She could have shot so many people. I was like, where is the gun? Like, what's going on?
That was a mess. So they do that. They take out they go to where the fight's going on, and they kick the crap out of all those people. And then Anna takes out Mariah, and then the police show up, and bada boom, bada bing. Now the end. This one I thought was dumb, but I got it. They had a bird the whole time, like a canary. Charlie, I think his name was.
Yeah.
So at the end,
before you continue, this is a pet peeve of mine.
What?
I hate when people give animals human names. I hate it. Like, don't give, like, call them Chirpy or something, or Chirp Chirp, or something. Not Charlie. Don't do that. Don't call.
Charlie the parakeet? What's wrong with Charlie the parakeet?
It just doesn't sound right. Don't call your pug Edward. That just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fucking fit.
What if I give him a monocle?
On a pug? Yeah. Go ahead and give him his ass a top hat and a cane too.
I don't know. You know, make him a little more human.
Go ahead, man.
So she's doing like she normally does. She always talks to Charlie and everything. But this time, and the second I seen her like looking at him and thinking, I'm going,
Yep.
She was in a cage. Now she's going to let Charlie out of his cage. But you know what the problem is?
Yeah, Charlie's going to fly his ass out into the wilderness and get eaten by something else.
Die.
Yes.
Because he's domesticated. He don't know how to live out in the world.
No.
He's going to be like, where's the lady that brings me my bird seed?
Right.
I don't know. I'm dead.
Yes, that's right. He's going to run into
that one messed me up.
He's going to run into some pigeons. He's going to run into some pigeons. They're going to jack him
on the wrong side of the wire.
That's right. Look at you. A house bird. Look at this house bird. What are you doing out here with us pigeons?
Why are you named Charlie? That's not a bird name.
Right. My name is Mr. Feathers.
Oh my god.
You know?
Oh my god. Mr. Feathers.
Charlie Feathers,
the pigeon. Oh, now we've really lost it.
We had to make this movie enjoyable some way. And this podcast too, man. We
Right?
ain't laughed hard enough with this damn movie, you know.
Oh Lord. I don't even got a grade for this movie. How about just sucks?
You don't have a grade? I mean, come on now. It's
not Street
it's still-
Fighter, it's
it
not
wasn't.
Double Dragon.
It wasn't.
Like, I mean, it was watchable, but it was just not good.
Well, you know what? I'm giving it I will give it shit. I would give it a oh man, I'm debating between a C- and a D.
D-.
I'm not giving it a D-. I mean, because I probably won't ever watch this movie again. The funny thing is, Melissa liked it. She watched it and she enjoyed the whole damn movie.
Why?
Man, she likes
because it was empowering women.
Yeah, she likes these type of movies. Like, she's always watching some type of movie like this, man. So I get it. I get why she likes it, but it just wasn't my thing. I probably won't watch it again. Like I said, oh man, it's kind of hard. You know, some movies that I give C's to, I kind of could watch again. But this, you know what? No, I'm going with D+. I can't. I gotta go D+. Okay. You're going D-.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, there we go. So it's a D.
That's D me movie. Being generous. Do we got something coming up? Because
well, you know what? Both of us are going to be gone. Well, actually, you're going to be going next week. I'm going out of town. My birthday is next Sunday, so I'm going out of town. Don't know where I'm going. Melissa said that she's kidnapping me.
We'll figure out something, and then we'll I'll look at some stuff. You look at some stuff, and we'll figure out something for the following week.
Okay, that's cool.
There's a lot I've been looking at. Jeff sent me some things a while back. Some of them, there's a couple of movies that are kind of like martial art comedies. I think we could do a couple of those that look interesting.
What was the last time we did? I mean, was it a Jackie Chan movie? Was it The Rush Hours? The last time we did a comedy?
Yeah, well, these ones are even. This one has I almost called him Deuce Bigelow. Rob Schneider. It's called The Big Stand. Yes, but it's actually a good movie, and it's really crazy.
And you've seen this already?
Oh, I've seen it several times. It's one of my favorite movies.
And it's a martial arts movie. Well, you know what? This is probably his second martial art movie, because he did another one.
Yeah, what did he do?
Surf Ninja. Surf Ninja.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Holy crap. That's crazy. Okay, so Big Stand, real simple. His character goes to jail, and so he's worried about it. So he goes and sees like a karate master, and he learns all this martial arts before he ends up in jail. But then he ends up like taking over the jail.
All right, let's do that then. Let's do that for 2 weeks. Yeah. So I'll get the message out to Angel so he'll know. That's what we're gonna go with.
I'm telling you, like, you'll notice some people. It's literally the longest yard with martial arts.
Is this a Adam Sandler production movie?
I don't think so, but it might be.
Okay, because I know Rob Schneider does a lot of movies with him.
Let me make sure I got the. Oh, Big Stand, not The Big Stand. Big Stand.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Oh, it's on Tubi right now for free.
Okay. Oh, I got to deal with them damn commercials. I'm gonna see if I can find it somewhere else first before that'll be my last stand.
It might be on Amazon.
Yeah, I'll see what I can find. Okay.
I don't see if it's. I don't think it's by Happy Madison.
Okay.
Anyhow, yeah, but it's a fun movie. It's not nothing serious, but the martial arts is actually decent in it.
Okay, let's do it. Let's just go ahead and just say we're going to do that. Cool. All right, cool. You got anything else?
No, man. Wish me luck on this wedding, and have fun for your birthday.
Thanks, man. All right, everybody. Stay safe, stay strong. From everyone here at the Martial Arts Internet Network, Gene, Joe, Angel, and Mr. Feathers, we'll holler at you next week. And I will play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.